Good day, everyone. This is Onoboddo, back with yet another Power Pack content in our channel, Know Your Industry. So, if you have been following me, you would have seen that we were continuing with our telecom, communication, and media journey. Before that, we were in our insurance, series of videos. From this video onwards, we are going to start off with our financial services journey, right? So in this video, we are going to cover at a high level the 10 different aspects or the 10 different pillars of the financial services industry. So without any delay, we would jump into each of those domains, right? So the first domain we're going to talk about is the banking industry within financial services. That's the biggest industry. And then within banking, if you see here, I have broken down the banking industry into four aspects, which is retail banking, commercial banking, investment, and private banking, right? Retail banking, all of us are aware of. We are very familiar with retail banking. We all open bank accounts. We operate our bank accounts. We do credit and debit transactions. We see our balances, so on and so forth. In the previous days, it was more physical, but as days are progressing, we are more moving into our apps and online portals for retail banking, right? So that's very familiar. Commercial banking, what is commercial banking? Services for businesses, including business loans, line of credit, treasury services, and commercial mortgages. So the key word here is for businesses, right? When a business wants to expand or to start another new business, and then they want credit, right? And they are approaching a bank for credit. Then when a bank is giving loan to that organization, or basically doing any kind of transaction with that organization, so that falls under commercial banking, right? So in very layman and simple terms. The third type is investment banking, right? So again, when that's also to do something with mostly an organization, right? When an organization wants to invest in another new business, right? And they want, for that investment, they want a credit line from a company, or they want services from a company, or they want any kind of for any kind of securities to buy, so on and so forth. Anything to do with investment falls under investment banking, right? So that's the third line, and I think all of us, most of us, are aware of this term as well. And then the fourth term, which is not very prevalent, but it's also there highly, is private banking, right? So what is private banking? So that is all to do with HNIs, high net worth individuals, right? People who have more than 10 crore, 15, 20, 25, etc. in their bank accounts. And then they want to, negotiate. They normally, what they do is they negotiate terms with the banks, right? To give them a special interest rate, special rates for doing, taking loans, so on and so forth, right? So anything to do with high net worth individuals, banking services for high net worth individuals falls under private banking, right? So that's the fourth aspect within the banking industry. Now the second pillar, right? So after banking comes insurance. Now insurance is another product which all of us deal with, right, in our day-to-day lives. Now in a high level, insurance industry is broken down into life insurance and non-life insurance, right? What is life insurance? Most of us again buy LIC, right? LIC is a typical example of life insurance, where you give a certain premium for a certain period of time, and then you have a sum assured which you get back once mostly when the person who is insuring is no more, right? So that's life insurance. But there is also a concept of a term life insurance, when you buy a life insurance till a particular term, and if you still alive after that term, you get the sum insured back along, and or typically often also along with some additional money as well for endowment plans, ULIPs, and this kind of plans, right? So that is about life insurance. What is non-life or general insurance? All your other types of insurance apart from health. Remember, health is another type of insurance or another pillar. Within general insurance falls your auto insurance, property casualty, general liability, workers compensation, cyber liability insurance, etc., 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 right? So mind you, I will cover all these in details when I cover individual videos on all these subdomains that we are seeing here, right? So you will see all videos on these individual aspects. So that's non-life or general insurance for you, right? Then health insurance, I don't have to explain anything, right? We all buy health insurance for covering our medical expenses. The fourth term is an important one, which is reinsurance, right? Maybe all of us don't know that insurance company also often takes insurance from another insurance company, right? So one insurance company taking insurance from another insurance company, right? So say for example, I am a customer, I have bought a policy from an insurance company and I am claiming for 100 rupees. Now this insurance company can't pay me 100 rupees at that point, and for paying me 100 rupees, that insurance company have to take an insurance cover from another insurance company. Maybe that company can pay me 50 rupees, and for the rest 50 rupees, that insurance company is taking that 50 from another insurance company and paying that to me, right? So again, in simple terms, that is what reinsurance is all about, right? So that falls under insurance. Now, the third important pillar, which is gaining a lot of importance and traction in today's world, is asset management, right? Why? Because we number of assets is increasing for every individual day by day, and how do we, and what are the different aspects, or what are the different assets that we have, right? That's what we are going to understand within asset management. So the first one is mutual fund. Again, very prominent, very famous. There are a lot of mutual fund houses who operates these funds, wherein they buy different kinds of financial products, like they can buy equities, they can buy bonds, they can buy debt products, they can buy commodities, so on and so forth, right? So there are different types of mutual funds, and different fund houses, they run these funds, and me and you who are investors, we can invest our money in these mutual funds, and when our overall corpus grows, then we do some profit from that fund, right? So all of us know mutual funds. Maybe not all of us know what is a hedge fund, right? So hedge fund is also very similar to a mutual fund, right? Which is again a fund, right? Where different people are investing money, and there is some professional who is running that fund. So that way it is very similar. But where is the difference? Hedge funds are typically privately run funds, right? So it's not a public fund like a mutual fund. It's a privately run fund. That's number one. Number two, it is a more high risk, high reward kind of fund, right? Who are investing in different kinds of things, and they also do short selling. They also, they're more flexible in terms of buying and selling shares, and that's the way they try to gain more, profit out of running the fund. So that is typically what a hedge fund is all about. Again, the third type is pension funds, which are funds established by employers to manage retirement savings. So there are different kinds of pension funds. In India, the most common is NPS, which is National Pension Scheme. But there are a lot of other pension funds which are run by all these financial organizations and banks, right? And you can also opt for a pension fund for your retirement goals. The fourth type of asset management is private equity. So anything to do with private companies or buyout of public companies. So say for example, you are investing in a private company, right? And a startup has just started, and you're investing in that startup, right? Say you are investing 2 lakhs today, and then you are waiting when the overall, the valuation of the startup grows, and then you will sell your equity in that startup, right? A lot of, sportsmen, a lot of Bollywood stars, etc. do these days, right? So that's all about private equity. Again, to give you a fair idea about what this pillar is all about, we would go details into the pillar when we do individual videos. Fourth biggest pillar, or one of the bigger pillars, is capital market, right? Again, very prominent. India is gaining high popularity in capital markets, although it's still a very less penetrated market compared to a lot of other aspects, but then it's gaining a lot of traction. Equity is the most common, right, which is trading of company stocks and shares, right, directly. Nothing to explain. Again, mutual fund I've already spoken. The third more important aspect is derivative, right? What is derivative? It's about futures, options, and swaps, right? So trading of financial instruments like futures, options, and swaps that derive their value from underlying assets, right? It's a little complex concept. I would go into a little in depth when I do the individual video, but that's another type of product within the capital markets. The fourth type, which is easier to understand, is all about commodities, right? We can also trade in commodities. Commodities like precious metals like gold, silver, copper, platinum, so on and so forth. So these are also an important type of product which are traded in the capital market. Now, the fifth pillar we're going to look at today is wealth management, right? So what is wealth management? Wealth, if with more increasing wealth, the reason to manage that increases as well, right? So again, and another very important thing that most professional investors tell us these days is you need to diversify your portfolio, right? So that's a common term all of you will listen a lot, right? So you need to diversify your money into share market, within share market also into equities, mutual funds, and then other debt products, You also to some extent need to buy real estate. You need to put some of your money in fixed deposits. You also need to buy gold, and also need to have some amount of liquid fund with you, right? So that's the way you diversify your portfolio. And who is going to help you in that? A financial planner and an investment advisor, right? A financial planner will more help you how you diversify your portfolio. Investment advisor will more help you that how, what kind of investments you should do, right? And it should be more I mean, the advisor should be more detailed in terms of the calculations in terms of investment, so that you see that, say, after 5 years or 10 years, 15 years, what kind of fruits your investment reap, right? So that's the role of an investment advisor. And then if you more specialize into real estate and want to manage your funds or invest more into buying and selling real estates, then you need a estate planning. You need to move into estate planning, which this basically domain will help you in terms of gaining more profit out of buying and selling real estates, right? So that's the different aspects of wealth management in today's world, right? Now we're going to move into a very interesting aspect or an interesting pillar within financial services, which is fintech, right? Again, this is a term all of us are hearing a lot these days. What are the different components within it? Let's understand very clearly. The first most important and the most famous component is payment processing, right? Again, these payment platforms like Bharat Pay, Google Pay, Phone Pay, PayPal, etc. It has gained a lot of traction because we are doing our day-to-day payments, etc. through these platforms today, right? When we go out to even buy vegetables, when we are going out traveling in taxis and autos, etc., we are paying through these platforms, and then the vendors are getting the platform, and we can also pay easily, right, without the hassle of going into exchanges and so on and so forth, right? And then obviously technologically there are a lot of microservices in play in this space. Again, I'll go in more details when I do an individual video on payment processing. The second important aspect, which is also gaining a lot of traction, is lending platforms, especially for small and medium scale enterprises. Platforms like Lending Club, Prosper, etc. Are being highly utilized by businesses to get loans almost overnight and then expand the business or start a new business, so on and so forth. And that also falls under the fintech industry, which has made taking loans for different kinds of businesses very easy. And then expand your business, take the right opportunity at the right time, and don't wait for an entire a traditional way of taking a loan from a bank. The third most important category within this is cryptocurrency and blockchain, right? Now, all of us know that there's still a huge debate going on in India about making cryptocurrency mainstream. But again, the number of investors in Bitcoin and Ethereum is ever increasing, right? And there are a lot of ways people are doing profit also in this industry. And then we are also seeing a lot of apps and a lot of robots, etc., who are giving automated algorithm driven financial planning services, right? And they are telling that, say for example, out of the 10 funds that you're holding, which are the 3 funds which you should not continue, right? We should discontinue, which are the 3 funds which should increase your investment, then so on and so forth. So these kind of apps are also gaining a lot of popularity, which will fall into the fourth category that we are seeing here within the fintech industry. Now we are going to look at the 7th pillar, which is the real estate finance, right? Now, we briefly spoke about real estate in one of our pillars previously, but this entire pillar or the component talks about real estate finance, right? The most important, the first aspect of that is mortgage banking, right? And this is typically handled by banks itself, right? Which is origination and servicing of mortgage loans, right? So anything to do with mortgage loans comes under mortgage banking. The second here is REITs, right, which is real estate investment trusts, right? I would explain you the concept in a layman language here. So say for example, there is an organization who owns certain real estate where there are different shops in play, right? The operations are running, and then you as an investor, you don't want to own a shop or take a shop on rent, but you want to invest in that property. How can you invest? One of the channel is REITs, right, wherein this organization can float certain REITs, right? So these are kind of traded traded product like a share, which you can buy, and then obviously you can gain profit out of it, because these are income producing real estates, right? And so based on how the incomes are increasing in that, or the demands of that real estate is increasing, and the shops which are operating in those real estate, they are gaining profit. Based on that, the price of the REIT will increase, and then you can indirectly gain profit out of that, right? Because if you hold the REITs, right, which is real estate investment trusts. And the third aspect in this real estate finance is property management, right? So typically, if you have multiple properties which you yourself have bought, or you have gained in an ancestral manner, you can, and if you want to gain profit out of buying and selling these properties, then obviously you need a professional help, and that falls under property management umbrella, right, within real estate finance. Now, number 8, which is very popular, is financial advisory. And then all of you who know about big 4 companies like Deloitte, KPMG, PwC, and EY, they are into financial advisory. And then there are a lot of other companies as well who have 3 main pillars. One is accounting and auditing, and they handle accounting of all the big firms, big and medium scale firms of the world. And then obviously they do a lot of these third party auditing for third party organizations, right, which are neutral audits. So that is one way, and that is one of the main revenue stream for these companies. The second revenue stream is tax advisory, which is also a perpetual way of earning revenue from all the big firms, because they would always need tax. How can they save more tax, or how do they do more better tax planning for the next financial year, so on and so forth. And then anything to do around consulting, and especially financial consulting, is also another important revenue stream which falls under financial advisory for these companies. Now we are almost towards the end, so this is the 9th pillar, which is treasury and risk management, within which we have mainly 2 pillars, as you see: corporate treasury and risk management, right? So what is corporate treasury? As the name suggests, right? So it's when you look at the corporate as a overall organization, and you want to manage the treasury for the entire enterprise, right? So that is more about corporate treasury, managing a company's liquidity, investments. If an M&A or merger acquisition is happening, so to manage the entire finance around it, any kind of financial risk that occurs from any decision. So to manage this entire financial aspect from a corporate perspective falls under corporate treasury. So the different roles or the different aspects which are there are cash management, financial analysis, asset management, corporate finance, any kind of financial negotiations from an enterprise perspective. All those aspects fall under corporate treasury. And then risk management, where you are identifying, assessing, and mitigating financial risk within an organization from different aspects. Again, maybe from a merger, maybe from opening a business in a new geography, or for launching a new product in the market. So any kind of risk, and how do you mitigate those risks? What kind of steps you should take to mitigate those risks falls under the risk management category, right? Which again falls under the treasury and risk management vertical of the financial services. The last vertical that we would see here, and again it's very popular, all of us know, are about credit rating agencies, right? So this is very important. In India, we know about organizations like CRISIL, ICRA, CARE. Internationally, we know about Fitch, Standard and Poor's, Moody's, so on and so forth. So these kind of companies, they are into rating any organization internationally from a financial perspective, right? So if you look into the definition, credit rating agencies evaluate the financial strength of individuals, companies, governments, and similar entities that borrow money, right? They consider factors like income and credit lines to assess the likelihood of repayment and any credit risk. So the credit risk agencies, they assign credit ratings, and the ratings are typically from AAA, AA plus, AA minus, and the lowest rating, which is the default rating, is D, right? And looking at the rating, we try to gauge, or we understand that what kind of a financial condition or the strength of the organization is, right? So that's an easy way for understanding for a layman, and we depend on these credit rating agencies to give the ratings to any organization at a regular basis, right? And we typically see in the news that they are upgrading the rating or downgrading the rating for different kinds of reasons, like the kind of investments they're getting, an organization is getting, the kind of project pipeline they have, the kind of latest quarterly report or annual report they have come up with, and based on that, these rating agencies, they upgrade or downgrade rating of organizations. So that's a very important aspect also for financial services. So I hope you could understand at a high level how the financial services industry is broken down into different aspects, like treasury risk management, financial advisory, real estate finance, fintech. We looked into wealth management, capital markets, asset management, the insurance world, and the banking world, right? So these are the different aspects, and as I was telling you, that now we would start a series of video financial services where I'll cover the different subdomains, like say retail banking, commercial banking, investment banking. We would have separate videos on these different aspects in the upcoming series. I hope you like the video. If you are liking the content, I would request you kindly subscribe to my channel, and I would see you in the next video. Thank you for your time.